Live Chronics from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for February 12th, 2020. It took place live in the HEB Center in Austin, Texas. And if you don't know what HEB is, well, that is where Texans go to get their groceries. I did not see this show live. I was at a Korn and Breaking Benjamin concert, which was awesome. I got a pick from Monkey from Korn, so that was fantastic. I had a great time. Well, then the next day, I went and saw the new Sonic movie, and that was awesome. So finally back after Valentine's Day and everything, I'm here to finally catch up with AEW Dynamite. And what a show it was! Are we going to see people lose an eye? Are we going to see people lose more teeth? Or maybe lose a title or two? Well, let's find out. As the first match, the championship, the tag team championships, are on the line. You got SCU taking on Omega and Hangman Page, the AEW tag team champions. They cut right to the chase, no entrances, no popping circumstance, nothing like that. Look, we're right up in the ring, ready to have some high-flying, high-energy action, the way AEW loves to kick off their shows, and thank you for doing so. This was a very entertaining match, and the Dark Order, they did come on the Titantron and let us know that the Exalted One, he will be there soon. And Christopher Daniels, for whatever reason, he decides to leave the ringside area and go investigate. I don't know exactly what he was thinking. I wish somebody would have been like, hey, that was probably a pre-recorded video and there's no need to go investigate. I mean, why would you even need to investigate? They told you all the information that you needed to know. There was no imminent threat. They just said, soon. So, I mean, maybe just watch your back, watch over your shoulder, go to the other side of the ring so, no one comes down the rampway, something like that. But he left the ringside area. That's what he did. This match ended like many of Kenny Omega and Hangman Page matches, well, not involving beer this time, but with a double combination tag team maneuver to finish this one off the buckshot V-trigger. And Page and Omega, they hit the 1, 2, 3. Now, I did notice that the hand, Kazarian, it was on the rope. The referee did not see this, and I did not hear the commentary mention this, bring this up at all, but I can only imagine that next week this is going to be brought up as a point of contention that, they didn't actually lose straight out. The hand was on the rope. The camera guy caught it, so it was kind of strange that they didn't bring that up. But we're going to hope that they bring it up next week. The Dark Order does come down, which only makes me wonder what happened to Christopher Daniels if he was going to check this out. But the Dark Order came out anyways. See, if you would have stayed ringside, you could have been there. Best Friends come out to help. Angelico, Jack Evans come down. You got Butcher and Blade, the Young Bucks. What else are you going to do with all these people in the ring? I mean, there's only one resolution, and that resolution is a brawl. Have a big brawl, and the Young Bucks, they stand tall at the end of this one. Next up, we got JR sit down with Santana. This was a pre-recorded inside of the ring, and Santana's talking about 10 years ago. He was in a dark place. He was directionless. He didn't know what to do. He called up his father. His father's been blind for a long time. This goes into how Santana got blinded in one eye at the hands of Jon Moxley. Santana has since lost his father, and he's taking all of these emotions, all of these feelings, and his injured eye, he's not going to forget that. It's eye for an eye tonight as he goes in the main event against Jon Moxley. So, it sounds like it's going to be pretty intense. You got two one-eyed wrestlers going head-to-head in the main event. And in our next segment, If you remember, Darby Allin talking about injuries. Well, Sammy Guevara, he used the skateboard to injure the throat of Darby Allin. Now Darby Allin, he's cutting cardboard, and he's cutting a silent promo using the little gimmick that Sammy Guevara does in between commercial breaks. So we might get a little bit of a cease and desist from Sammy Guevara, but after hearing that horrible cough, I mean, you got Darby Allin, he can't even speak, he's just coughing. He's got a huge grievance, and he's coughing like General Grievous over here in this segment. And Darby Allin, after he goes and finally gets his hands on Sammy Guevara, he might have to cease and desist his career. Because, man, you took out the man's throat. Ooh, he's coming. He's coming, and he's coming at you at Revolution, which is coming up soon. Next up, we got Sammy Guevara. Speaking of the devil himself, the Spanish God. Taking on Dustin Rhodes out there. Hometown boy. People were going crazy for Dustin Rhodes. I would be going crazy for him too, whether it was Austin or not. But these guys, they had a great match. I was really into this one. Sammy Guevara had in those little teeny tiny tights. I don't know why he does this. He needs to get some bigger tights. He's got too much of his ass hanging out. I just don't understand. Why is he doing this? You gotta protect your booty, is what I'm saying. You're going in there with Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes is going to put the beat down on your ass. So you better cover it. But after a final reckoning, Dustin Rhodes gets the cover himself, and boom, Dustin Rhodes, he comes away with the victory. Dustin Rhodes gets on the microphone, and he is like, hey, talking to you. Not Sammy Guevara, talking about Jericho's bitch. And I was like, oh, did he just say that? He's talking about Jack Hager. Jack Hager turns around and he's like, you're talking about me? And Dustin Rhodes is bringing up his failing MMA career. Jack Hager's MMA career. And here, he hasn't even had a match. What is he doing? He's basically failing here in AEW. He wants this man to step into the ring with him at Revolution. Why? Because he broke Dustin Rhodes' arm, and he has not forgotten. I don't think I would forget if I got my arm broken either. But he wants Jake Hager, and he wants him at Revolution, and he wants him to come in the ring like a man and accept the challenge. But what does Jake Hager do? He does not accept the challenge. He just walks away. So next week, when we're in Georgia, we can only hope that there is more to this story and it just doesn't end with Jake Hager just walking away. I mean, you broke the man's arm. You can't just walk away from that and pretend like it didn't happen. Speaking of things I wish I could just forget happened, we've got Tony Schiavone interviewing Britt Baker. But actually this week, she has a pretty good little promo. She's asked why did she break out these teeth, and she's like, well, I actually did her a favor last week because she had some kind of insert technical term here. She had a cavity, an abscess. She needed to get those teeth removed, so she really did a medical favor last week. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's done, and Vince McMahon's probably just salivating over here because he's thinking, if only I could have gotten Isaac Yankem to be like Britt Baker. Ooh, that would have been money. And then she calls the fans a bunch of chubby Whataburger faces. And I said, oh, I feel so disrespected as a native Texan. And you could hear the fans just go, oh, look, Whataburger is sacred in this state over here. You can't just say something like that. You'll see memes sometimes and they'll be like, what's better? Is it In-N-Out Burger or Whataburger? Not one Texan is going to be like, In-N-Out is better. I can't even say it with a straight face. Next up, we have another championship match. It is Riho trying to defend her title against Nyla Rose. And I say trying to because, come on. She's 98 pounds, and Nyla Rose is a native beast. I can't even imagine how, in a clean one-on-one match, that Riho has a chance in hell. But hey, we're in Texas. Anything can happen. Riho, she comes on the attack right out the gate, right when the bell rings. And why not? I mean, she really has the odds stacked against her, and she really has to throw everything to win this match. The odds are really against her. Riho, she's flying through the air, and Nyla catches her. She's getting tossed around, but Nyla, she's getting wood. And she pulls out that table, and she wants to drill Riho right through that thing, but it doesn't happen. Nyla has been putting folks through a table left and right and center. Well, she tried to put Riho through a table last week, but it didn't break. So maybe she wanted to button that up and actually make it happen this time. But wouldn't that cause a disqualification? I don't know. AEW can be kind of lax sometimes on the rules. But as we move on, Death Valley Driver from the top rope, and somehow Riho is able to kick out of this. I do not know how in the world she could kick out of this. She just had freaking Nyla Rose land on top of her from the top rope. After this, Nyla, she gets German suplex by Riho. How? I don't think I could German suplex Nyla Rose. But she does it somehow after getting Death Valley Drivered. And she even hits a Northern Light suplex. I mean, really? I could understand if somebody was running at you and you was able to do like a tilt-a-whirl slam or something just based off of momentum, but just dead stop, just grabbing somebody, suplexing them. At the end of a match, after your energy is weighing down, you're able to pick up. Come on, man. She ain't even got no muscle definition. I just can't buy that. It's ridiculous. But look, Nyla, she hits the big bomb right here, and she becomes the new women's champion. So that was at least believable, so I got to give them credit for that. Where's Nyla going to go after this? Who's going to be challenging her? I mean, I know she put a lot of folks through a lot of tables, so there's a lot of people who are upset and want some retribution against her. She has not made a lot of friends here in AEW. They go to commercial break, but we can see Nyla Rose talking a lot of smack backstage, but none of us in the TV viewing audience was able to see this because there was no audio because the commercials are going. Kenny Omega is looking very, very sad because his friend, the girl that he believes in, lost. I mean, I understand being upset, but come on, it's going to happen eventually, right? Like, why is he taking this so personally? It just seems a little weird, but Nyla, she's backstage, and she continues to celebrate and talk smack backstage. Now we have a Jericho interview with the Inner Circle backstage. He's got big news for next week. He's bringing in an assassin, and his name is Jeff Cobb. Everybody in the AEW arena right there, they really seem to know who this man was and be very excited for him coming in. What do you need to know about this man? Well, he is built like Rhino, and he is looking just as destructive. So hopefully next week we'll see this man. Brandy joins commentary, and she apologizes to Excalibur for talking smack about him. Apparently she's went through therapy, and yeah. So the reason that she's on commentary is because of this whole Cody MJF thing, and that is, yeah. Last week we saw the 10 lashes. Freaking, she was very sad and very like, oh my God, oh my God. It was a very emotional moment between a married couple right here. She was concerned about Cody Rhodes. But now, we got MJF taking on Jungle Boy. And man, this was a really good match. Jungle Boy has improved just in a few weeks. He's gotten so much better at his expressions, at the way he's like displaying to the audience, doing his moves. Like it's becoming much more refined. And MJF, we already know he's legit. He's pretty much good to go, right? But Jungle Boy, you know, he's building up his career. He's getting better and better. And they believe in him, putting him in there with the opponents that he's had in the past. But it wasn't enough. Double cross by MJF. Double crossing is what MJF does best. He wins this, and then Wardlow comes into the ring, suit, man bun, and all, gets in there and tosses Jungle Boy like a small Jungle Boy. Yeah. Next we have a Pac black and white video where he continues to talk about what he's talking about. I don't know why these videos are in black and white, but it's a good look, and it really is showing us Pac's personality and his intensity. He's always got his shirt off and he's showing his muscles, so hey, that's a plus 2, right? Okay, now got the Inner Circle. They got their own section upstairs. They came out through a one of those boxes that you can rent at arenas. They walked right through that and then sat up in the stand, sectioned off with the fans basically, all around them. So that was interesting. It's main event time. It's Santana with Ortiz taking on Jon Moxley with a medical eye patch like he's been wearing, plus added on top of it a gimmick eye patch that you can buy at Shop AEW. So I thought that was kind of hilarious and very smart of AEW to sell these eye patches that I'm sure that you can buy at the shows. I didn't notice anybody in the crowd. I didn't pay a lot of attention to the people in the crowd, although I did see Jesus again this week and Scooby-Doo, who was front and center for the show. So it's kind of hard to miss that. But as you can imagine, this is a very personal battle between two rough and tough individuals. Two one-eyed wrestlers. Depth perception must have been terrible during this match. They're fighting out there in the arena around the fans, and they're trying to take each other's eyes out. There was one point where Santana was trying to push Moxley's eye right into the solid steel steps, right into a corner, and I was like, this is making me uncomfortable. And Moxley started thumbing the eye, trying to dig out the eye of Santana. Ooh, it's just brutal. I just don't like that. It just makes me quiver. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm just not all about that. But a very good main event right here. This show has been very entertaining, but a paradigm shift, and Moxley comes away with the victory right here. So are we going to see Moxley come away with the victory when he is going against old Jericho at Revolution? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, Ortiz jumps in the ring. He's got the post-match beatdown. The Inner Circle comes down from their sectioned off VIP section and comes down to the squared circle. Jericho, he's got the bubbly in hand, and he starts whipping. Boy, he's whipping Jon Moxley with his championship belt. Basically saying, this is as close as you're going to get. A little bit of a whipping going on here. And Santana and Ortiz, of course, they got their sock full of baseballs, I guess that's what it is. I mean, baseballs are pretty heavy, and if you got beaten with them, that would definitely hurt. I would not sign up for that. Not now. Not ever. Low blow from Hager. So Hager, he adds an exclamation point here. They do some Fox covers on this man. And Sammy's getting that 360 from the, well, I guess it was a 630 actually. Sorry, I'm a little bit dyslexic. Sammy Guevara off the top rope lands on Jon Moxley. Holy crap, Judas Effect. They're bringing out all the stops. So you know Jon Moxley is going to be pissed. He's going to be angry. And he's going to want some retribution before Revolution. Then freaking Jeff Cobb comes down to the ring. So this thing is getting crazy. The inner circle is getting bigger and bigger. That circle, it's growing. It's getting larger. Oh, it's crazy. How are they going to stop the inner circle? How are they going to get the championship off of Jericho? How is Jon Moxley going to come back? When is his eye going to recover? Freaking next week when we are in Georgia, got a cage match. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of stuff going on right here. I'm very excited for this upcoming show. This show right here was very good. I really like it. Was very solid. Everything kind of flowed in to the next thing. Everything pretty much made sense. And next week, the very first cage match in AEW, I'm wondering what that's going to look like. Are we going to see a classic cage match? Are we going to see a WWE style cage where you can jump off of it? I mean, I would imagine so. What's it going to look like? Are they going to paint it red? Probs not. But next week, it's going to be a nice thing to see. Let me bring up one more thing before I go. As you might know, I'm involved in the independent wrestling scene. Myself and Marco Rose, we run Committed to Wrestling. And if you check out our YouTube page at youtube.com, find Committed to Wrestling. We just posted our very first main event in its entirety from 2017. It was June 22nd, 2017. We had our very first main event, and we've recently posted that. So if you'd like to check that out, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be doing some other things coming up. Our next show is actually going to be April 11th, 2020. So we're gearing up for that. In the meantime, I'm actually going to be doing some announcing. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to be doing that for some other local promotions. So if I have any more spots or videos regarding that, I'll let you know about them so you can check them out. But I'm just very excited about that. Wrestling is treating me very well these days, and especially for AEW Dynamite. They're treating us very well with some solid, great shows, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more of them. And hopefully our Committed to Wrestling show will be a great addition to the wrestling community as well. But until then, I will catch you guys next time.